Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Out on the edge, you love to have cornerbacks like that can bring them down in the run game.
And you're also exposed to everyone. It really becomes a one-on-one play, doesn't it? You're out there by yourself on the edge. The best ones know how to make the play, and we just saw an example of it right there.
And he is out of bounds right around the 34. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
All that practice time came to... fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, mini camp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the slat. Watch the slat. Run.
Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And left side here, it's Graham. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down.
Hey, we got 3, 3 down.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And now out comes Minnesota. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Here we go. Black.
Gun.
50. Watch the screen. 2.
5.
Throwing his Cousins. He's going to sling this deep down. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Josh Jackson. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. A first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15.
80 weapon. Inside.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. On second down, it's Jones. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. 319.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. He hauls it in. Valdez-Scantling for the Packers touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
First down 10 at their own 24-yard line.
A reminder coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one from Atlanta. Eagles and Falcons, 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday Night Football, Odell Beckham back in New York, back in MetLife Stadium. Browns and Jets, 8:15 Eastern on Monday night. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 39-yard line.
Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Cousins, and complete right side to Cook.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
Recon, 132 fighter. Zebra. Hey, Delta. Move.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
How about that one? The so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Returnable here from the 38. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position, 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. Now a throw here to his running back. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 11 yards there, 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. From the gun, it's a give to Cook.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Gets a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. They'll run with Cook. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. They try again with Cook. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. for Cousins. Flush to his right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked out since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. On third down, Cousins. That's caught by Treadwell. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
40's mine. 40's the mine.
Looking to throw again on second down. Rodgers. And this is caught. Mercedes Lewis with a grab. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 16 yards, a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Now on 2nd and 13. Rodgers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, Zoom. Go ahead.
From the gun, here's Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. 15 yards on the play, first down.
A gain of 15. And the Vikings first down.
Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. And that sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
2nd and 12 at the 13-yard line.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength. Hey, we got 48.
Again, it's Cook. They showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
Third down.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. To throw, Cousins. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover. They want to try and put points on the board.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. A gain of 32 that time. Now, defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Rodgers going to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Cousins now from the 50. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a 4th quarter advantage. Flushed out right. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Bailey got the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Let's go.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Open on the left side, this is Valdez-Scantling. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it with Jones. Jones breaking from the contact. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. So now Rodgers will lead the Packers up to go for 2. They're going to run for it with Jones. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The fullback comes through with a big play there.
But when the highlight is shown of this play, all attention is going to be on the person running with the football. But how about the group as a whole? Setting up that big-time return, yardage that we won't even account for in the box score, may help them win the game.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
Cousins here to throw. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Rashawn Gary in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Single.
To throw is Cousins. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
258.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Let him know.
One final try for Rodgers. We've seen this before. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for Minnesota, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.